Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's third and final video. I'm going to have a look at where the next 10 to 14 days for today's final video. Day 10 will take us to the 29th of January, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with extended GFS and ECM ensembles. We're trying to good weeks. Have a look at the CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks, which gets us well into the middle of February. So I'll get on that view in a moment. Just say the first video receives our 6 AM upload, and we've also released the USA forecast as well as on a Wednesday, having a look at the weather in America. If you'd like to have a look at those videos, then please do so. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. I hope you're having a lovely Wednesday as well. Right, so start off centering temperature. The CT is continuing to come down slowly. It's now standing at 5.3, which is 1.8 degrees above the 61 to 90 average. That's provisional to yesterday, to the 18th of January. So yeah, still dropping, but it's still significantly above average. You know, still very mild month. We're still, can you believe it, unraveling the exceptional warmth that we had on the first day when the anomaly, you know, was running around 10 degrees or something above average. Absolutely ridiculous. We're still unraveling that. It's still coming down. I imagine this gradual slow drop will continue. I think we're probably going to finish up with this somewhere in the fours. Where we are in the fours will remain to be seen. So, yeah, you know, it's going to be probably still a little bit above average by month's end, actually, but will be, you know, will be probably within a degree or so of average. That's 61-90. Remember, UK Met is now starting to use the 91 to 2020 average for their seasonal forecast and that kind of thing. On the CT page, though, it is still referring to 61 to 90. Now, I think what's going on here is that in the summer there's going to be a new CT page appearing. So this page that we're used to, and these charts just here, I think these will be going on. They'll probably say in some form, but basically the CT section of the UK Met website is going to get a revamp in the summer, and at that point they will start referring, I think, generally to 91 to 2020 average. But it will be interactive and whatnot. People will be able to refer to 61 to 90 still, and also to 81 to 2010, and also the most recent average 91 2020. So people will be able to see, you know, how the anomalies have increased and how we've warmed up since the 1960s quite easily, I think, from the summer and whatnot. But the general average referral period by summer or in summer will become 91 to 2020. That's what I've read on the Weather Outlook anyway, on the forum there. So I mean, if I got that wrong, I'm sure somebody will let me know, but that is what I've heard and read on Weather Outlook. So I know a few of you are wondering why they're still referring to 61.99. It's down here somewhere. There it is. Note that anomalies and normals quoted here are period 61.99. I know a few of you have been wondering about that, given that the UK Met overall has moved to the 91 to 2020 average. But that explains it. From the summer, it'll be referring to 91 to 2020, but you will also be able to see the previous averages as well. And there'll be a whole new section. It'll be completely revamped, and it sounds like it'll be very exciting for the summer. Right, have a look at the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles. Next couple of weeks looking like this. The red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for London. We're starting up close to average at the moment. It's going to drop over the next hours, so we are in a little bit of a cold snap. At the moment, not for long. We're going to lift the upper air temperature back up at the end of the week, and then we're hovering very close to average, still with a lot of scatter though, so we've still got warmer ensemble members up here, colder ensemble members down there as well. And probably there is still that cooling trend maybe through the first week or so. But February is a very long way out, of course, but the white line of the ensemble mean probably does still fall away. Very dry over the next week or so as well. Barely any measurable precipitation at all. Does look as though it gets a bit more unsettled into the end of January, beginning of February. But of course, that is a really, really long way off and is therefore unreliable. Mean sea level pressure is going to start coming down by the beginning of February, but overall holding up very high with sea level pressure until the end of the month, really around 1,040 millibars. We're just slowly dropping with pressure as we move into the beginning of February. Again, that is extended range, though, of course, 2-metre temperatures look like that. So a little bit of cold snap coming up, then relatively cool, you know, into the upper of next week. Beyond that, maybe a bit of a warming trend, though, as we look towards the end of January and the beginning of February. Snow row is looking like this. Not much to be seen, really, certainly not over next week. A few snow spikes by the beginning of February, but of course that's a long way off. In terms of the extended upper air temperatures, let's have a look at those, see how they're looking. So we still have this idea that there could be a little bit of a cooling trend as we move into the opening days of February, just here. I think, you know, we could see that occurring, and then probably a bit of a warming trend as we move towards the middle of February. All very long way off, though, and very extended range. And there are a few more snow spikes that are within the pack as well as we get further on into February. But are they getting any closer? That is the question. Temperature anomalies from the 19th, 27th of January going to be above average in the north and below average in the south. I would expect all areas probably go a little bit milder than average in the next few days, though, as we will lose the night frost risk over the weekend. Precipitation anomalies from the 19th to the 27th of January, they are significantly drier than normal. The latest wind flow map from earthnorthschool.net shows we are changing wind direction today and pulling in more of a northerly. So a little bit of a northerly wind pushing southwards today. If we drag the map up and see that the coldest of the air is actually going off into Scandinavia, going off through there. We're just on the periphery of the northerly blast, actually. But we have got enough of a northerly component to be bringing colder air into the country briefly from the north. Right, so this is how the UK Met Euro is looking for midnight on Saturday. High pressure dominates the weather and continue to do so for the rest of the weekend and into early part of next week. It gradually begins to slip a little bit, and this trough of low pressure starts to move in from off the Atlantic, maybe bringing something a little bit more unsettled into the west and north by the middle of next week. It would be mild, though, that, because the wind, of course, is coming in from the southwest. Icon looks like this. Again, high pressure dominates the weather on Saturday and goes on into Sunday as well. Early next week, high pressure remains in the ascendancy right the way up to middle of next week, when, again, we just go into a bit of a northwesterly, but still anti-cyclone, still lots and lots of dry weather, even then with Icon. GFS midnight run, again, with high pressure in control of the weather over the next few days. Gradually it weakens into the open of next week, turns a bit more unsettled, especially into northern areas. But overall, you know, lots of high pressure until the very end of the month, when this area of low pressure is a little bit of a game change. That starts moving in, bringing some wetter and windier weather. That is the 31st of January, so it's a long way off, but does turn wetter and windier by then. So that low pressure clears into the North Sea, pulls in quite a cold northerly wind, only temporarily though, and then we're back into westerlies again. Certainly a more unsettled flavour to the weather with the GFS midnight run for the start of February. Would liven things up a little bit, particularly so in the north. GFS 6Z, again, with high pressure well and truly dominating weather over the next few days. As we move towards the end of January, that high pressure slips a little bit further southwards and begins to turn wet and windy. It's very cold over Scandinavia, by the way, this trough of low. But we start turning a little bit wetter and windier by the very end of January, beginning of February. But it's all Atlantic driven, nothing particularly cold, just more unsettled with some wind and rain beginning to move in from the Atlantic, which will be a bit of a talking point after so much high pressure. By the end of GFS 6, which is the 4th of February, we're looking quite stormy, very deep, stormy looking low around Iceland. So maybe, you know, we're seeing some stormy weather getting going then. Moving on, it's a long way off though, of course. Moving on to GM, we look like this. High pressure once again dominating the weather over the next few days. Gradually that high pressure slips away southwards by day 10, 29th of January. We begin to go a little bit wetter and windier in the north and the west. And then the ECM once more with high pressure in control of the weather. And staying in control of the weather right way to the very end, actually. This gets 29th of January, day 10. High pressure still dominating. It's a little bit more to our south, but so we are dragging up an exceptionally mild, if not warm, southwesterly wind into Scotland. Think about what we had in the around New Year. It's very similar to that, although for England and Wales, I suppose there could still be frost and fog due to the closeness of the ridge, but certainly very, very mild there, Scotland and Northern Ireland, and even England and Wales could turn quite spring-like with that as well. Remember, the other miles are turning things a little bit more unsettled, though, by day 10 today. This is the precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from Meteo.com. Not much going on, to be honest. High pressure dominates the weather through most of the period. So, yeah, I don't think we need to go on that for too long. These are just on the table in the ECM ensembles today for day 10, which gets us to the 29th of January. 13 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure over to the south of the country, dragging up very mild southwest wind. That does include the control and the operational run. 11 with high pressure just to our west. That's going to be mainly dry and a little bit cooler as westerlies come around that area of high pressure, but still pretty mild, really. 10 with high pressure further northwards, ridging to Scandinavia, so maybe bringing a rather colder easterly type flow. 9 with high pressure more or less over the country, but it could be very mild for Scotland. And then 8 with high pressure centred right over the country. That could deliver a little bit of frost and fog. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. Gets us to the 3rd of February. So 18 members of the ECM ensembles now with high pressure over the country, mainly dry, probably quite mild. 14 with high pressure to our west-southwest, low pressure to our east-northeast. Winds will be coming in from west-northwest direction. Much colder and a little bit cooler perhaps as well. 11 with low pressure to the north and high pressure to the south. They're bringing westerly winds and probably more unsettled for Scotland. And then 8 with low pressure right over top of the country. That can be very unsettled. Wet and windy perhaps with that. So it might be a change to something more unsettled for the beginning of February. We did a video yesterday just speculating that the start of February might deliver a change to, or end of January, start of February might deliver a change to something a bit more unsettled. I think that idea is perhaps gather pace a little bit more today, but it is still a very long way off. It's beyond day 10, so, big health warning associated with that idea. Right, finally CFS V2, these are 500 millibar heights broken down into week periods. The first week period will take us from the 19th to 25th of January. Coming week, of course, is dominated by high pressure, so there will be lots of dry weather, and that carries on into week 2 as well, which is 26th of January to 1st of February. CFS wants to have the high pressure fest go on. Into week 3, there's a bit of a change. It's the 2nd to the 8th of February. Starts to turn more unsettled with low pressure to the north and also around the western side of Europe. High pressure pulling out to our west and away to our east. And so, just a general breakdown, I think, of the ridge and turning more unsettled as well there for the opening days of February. Backing up, I suppose, the idea in the shorter range as well. And then week 4 is quite interesting. If anybody wants cold weather, this does look a little bit interesting. Of course, it's 4 weeks away, so probably won't verify. But it is like a continuation of what we saw yesterday as well from the CFS for week 4. So this is from 9th to the 15th of February. Low pressure then sinks to the south. High pressure takes over across Scandinavia, and that will get wind into the east. So easterlies by the second week of February, and looking quite a lot colder and potentially rather wintry, actually, with that trough of low pressure to the south. So could February deliver some cold weather? I wouldn't be putting any money on it at this stage, not what's happened this winter. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. It'll probably be gone, and we see tomorrow's CFS update. But it is 2 days running that CFS has developed like a Scandinavian type high for the second week of February, week 4. So we'll wait and see anyway. Right, we're done. So if you enjoyed the video, then please do smash the like button. Make sure you sub to the channel. Thank you so much for doing that. Drop a comment and something about this and all of our videos. And don't forget to tell your friends and family about GavsWeatherVids. It's amazing and incredible if you can do that for us. Right, just so what's coming up tomorrow then. So it's Thursday, which means, of course, we'll start off with 6 AM upload. We will have the European Outlook as well. And if that wasn't enough, there'll be a 10 to 14 day too. So, yeah, keep checking back to the channel for more, but for today's videos and for this video, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.